Whoop whoop. Thank you, Sam. That is oh, and that's the call, guys. And that's it. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. So, good morning. We're officially recording. For those that are watching the recording, we basically just wanted to talk about that this is the push that is going to get most of you girls to Diamond in November. Okay, this isn't like a push that you just start today, you go Diamond in 2 days. Like, the reason we do these pushes, and I will say, probably since about a year ago, Sam and I have been doing these pushes every couple months. Okay, so part of that is because if you want to grow a real business, if you want to be a coach who not only gets to Diamond, a part of that elite squad, and gets the elite retreat and all of that, you want to get past Diamond. Okay, so this push, although it is your first one, maybe this is not going to be your last one. Okay, and the great news is that once you do it once, doing it again and again and again just becomes a part of your business. So today we want to talk about time and schedule. So typically when I did this call originally, when I thought about it, I wanted to do how do we fit this into our normal day? How do we fit this into our schedule on, a random week? So let me preface by saying the schedule I broke down for you guys is the schedule of Labor Day week that I will be doing for this push. I created it for this group. But this is not the typical schedule that I would be doing. So let me kind of break that down and how I came up with this schedule and why I wanted to talk about this. One, I have the number one reason people tell me they're unsuccessful in this business is because of time. Fact, period, across the board. It is not inviting. It is not, people want to blame inviting. People want to blame that they're, scared, what people think, blah, blah, blah. The reality is the actions we do are simple to do. They're also simple not to do, okay? And one of the biggest issues I see is that every single person on this call, every single person on our team is busy AF. Fact, okay? So let's just acknowledge that we're all busy. Everyone here is running around like a chicken with their head cut off most days of the week. Once we acknowledge that, then say, okay, that is not gonna be my make or break. If it was my make or break, I wouldn't even be on this call. I would just say, hey guys, I'm a chicken. I'm gonna be a chicken forever. And that is the end of it. But if we want more, we have to do more and we have to make it work. Okay, so for those of you that don't know me, let me start off by saying a little bit about my schedule and how I've worked this business over 2.5 years. So when I started this business, I was a stay-at-home mom of a newborn. I was sleeping off and on, randomly half an hour spurts. Like I started this when Peyton was a month old, jumping back into this. I worked this business for 1.5 years as a stay-at-home mom, so newborn to 1.5-year-old. And I started working the business about an hour a day. I would do that during nap time most of the time, and that was kind of how I got started. When I realized like, hey, I wanted more from this, and Sam and I did our first big push. I went from about an hour to 2 hours, okay? But I still had the same amount of duties. I still had to keep the house clean. My version of clean and others' version of clean might be totally different, okay? To keep the house clean, occasionally make dinner, take care of my kid, take care of myself, get my workout in, do my personal development. I mean, the list seems long. So how was I gonna do that? And it kind of came down to what's the real priority? What is really going to make you thrive? Is it 30 minutes of sleep or is it 30 minutes of business building activities? Okay. Is it 30 minutes of Netflix or is it 30 minutes of building your business? Transition. I did this business for about 1.5 years. My first push that I ever did, my first big push to go 1-star by the end of the year last year. So I'm in the same place you guys are right now, okay? I was Diamond by October. I mean, I was Diamond before that, but I started the push in October and I was Diamond and I pushed for 1-star. Still the same amount of people, okay? Diamond to 1-star from October to November. And I was thinking about like, okay, I don't know if I can do this. I got hired at my brand new social work job, literally in the middle of the push. Okay. So I went from being a stay-at-home mom to then having to work 40 hours a week, at a brand new job where I had to wear makeup and real clothes and be there at 7 a.m. till 5:30 every single day, still have a child, still be a mom, still be a wife, still do all the same things I was doing, because at that point, Jeff and I hadn't transitioned into our new roles. I was still doing all the grocery shopping, all the cooking, all the cleaning, working my brand new job, and in the middle of a push. It was a nightmare, right? So we had to quickly transition, because the reality is, if you want big things in this business, their shit will always come up. Shit will always come up. Let me just say it again. Shit will always come up. So embrace it. Know that the shit will always come up. Plan ahead and be willing to roll with the punches. So I get hired at my brand new job. I start working and I'm like, hi, I'm brand new here, but I'm pushing for this really big thing in my other business. So I'm not going to sit at lunch with any of you my first month at the job. And I didn't. And they were like, the new girl is so weird. Okay. Who cares? It's not about them. So the schedule I'm going to talk to you guys about today is specifically a push schedule. But when I do a relative version of the schedule, and I know Sam does, on a daily basis. Okay. So I'll tell you guys kind of the version versus the push. Long story short, I've been working this business pushing for 2-star, did another push not that long ago while working at my social work job recently. I've been working overtime, so 50 to 55 hours a week, plus momming, plus building this business, and pushing for an elite squad. So you can do it. You can find the time. The decision is, how do you find the time and when do you find the time? One of the biggest things that Amy Rada, who went from 1-star to 10-star in 1 year, and take emotion out of it. It's so weird seeing my name, Sam. I can't read it. It's like, I'm sorry, it's okay. Just keep looking. I'm like, what? Yes, you have to get over all of that, the emotion piece. We'll talk about that too. So at New Leader Conference, when Sam and I went, Amy Rada was like, this is the biggest thing, guys. She goes, successful people get up before the sun does. And Sam and I kind of knew that, because we were like, man, with the kids, kids just take it out of you. We're tired. She goes, no. If you look at 99% of successful business owners, CEOs, CFOs, people who make a difference in the world, they get up before the sun does, and they're excited about it. So we came back from New Leader Conference. At this point, I was getting up like 5 a.m., 5:30 to get my workout in before work. That was pretty much the extent of my early morning, whatever. And Sam and I were like, okay, well, successful people get up before the sun does. So I guess that means us too. And that is when the 4:30 a.m.s started. So again, we're gonna have a lot of truth bombs in this call, because I don't like to sugarcoat things. Sam is the epitome of like, shit is crazy and making it happen. Like, this bitch is in a hotel room with toddlers, working the business and pregnant. Like, the stuff that she did, I think I would have tapped out. I'm not going to lie. Okay. She's crazy. She's crazy, but that's why she's our leader, because she's crazy. Anyways, no, in the best way. But that's the thing. The stuff that you have going on, there's somebody who built a business in 10 times the amount of craziness. Okay. So you can use that you don't have time as your excuse, or you can use the time that we have, the 24 hours in a day that we all have, to use it to be successful and to build your business. Okay. We're not asking for a full-time job either. Like, this is like a part-time business that can be a full-time income. That is the fact about this business. But you do have to be willing to work for it. It doesn't come overnight. You have to take the emotion out of it, and you have to be willing to grind, because that's what this is. This is the grind of being a business owner. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. I want to still be able to see you guys. Can you guys see that? Yeah? Okay. So it's very bright. Fair warning. You all know I'm very extra in like the brightness. So I did a color-coded schedule. Now, when I told you guys to bring a pen and a paper and all of that in your schedules, the reason I want you to do that is because I want you to start thinking, okay? Because all the things on my schedule are on this Success Club tracker. Okay, so the reason Sam and I talk about the Success Club tracker so much is because we're taking these items and we're putting them into a realistic schedule for ourselves that we can do during a push and during a regular life, okay? So this is my schedule for the first week of our push. Now, let me preface this by saying most of us or agreed to start on the 3rd. I am starting personally on the 2nd. The reason for that is because my husband is out of town, and it's a lot easier for me to manage my schedule, and he's not here, and it gives me an extra day. Like I said, guys, I work 40 to 55 hours a week, depending on the week. So this week coming up, I work 4 days. I have a baby shower for Jeff's niece. I have a lot of things. That doesn't change for me doing this push. Okay, so what you do for this push, the difference is your mentality and the amount of time you're gonna spend during certain items. So let me break this down, first of all, by what you're seeing. And then, and maybe I'll even break this down based on a typical week first. So the main difference between the typical week for me and a push week is truly gonna be this bottom piece. So typically I work early in the morning because successful people get up before the sun does, and I work in the middle of the day. I typically don't work at night unless it's like follow-up stuff, getting ready for the next day, whatever. Typically I work these blue blocks that you see. These are when I work the business, okay? So let's go over the schedule real quick, and then I'll kind of tell you the difference. So first thing in the morning, I get up, my alarm goes off at 4:30. I get dressed, I have my workout clothes laid out, and I get up. I put my alarm across the room. Sam and I both do this to make ourselves get out of bed, period. I can't see the chat. What does it say?
I'm just saying how impressed I am with this schedule, and I'm just like, I want it.
Thank you. And I will make it to where everyone can have their own if you want. All I did is I went to Google Excel. I took my daily schedule and I made it into blocks. Now, when you're creating a schedule, guys, put in everything. I mean, everything. If you have 30 minutes a day where you pet your dog, put that on the schedule. Whatever the things are that you do, if you're cleaning for a certain amount of time and that takes up time for you, put it on the schedule, whatever that is, and then stick to the schedule, okay? My biggest advice I can give you before I go over this, work your business in the morning. Work your business in the morning, okay? Because the day will happen. Shit will happen. Your kid will be clingy. Someone will get sick. Something will need to get done. An errand will need to happen. Your husband will need something, okay? Work your business in the morning before they can affect your day. Because they, and I mean they, as your family, who you all love, but they will affect your day, okay? They always do. It's just what they do. So in the morning, we get up 4:30 in the morning, set my alarm across the room, have my workout clothes laid out. I get up, I get dressed. Keep in mind, Monday and Tuesday, I'm off work. These are my work days, so I wanted to show you guys both what they look like. These are my off days. Most people have 2 days off a week if they're working full-time, or if they're stay-at-home mom. Your guys' schedule is just as crazy, if not more crazy, in the way that there's not as much structure. So you have to create that structure in your life because they will take it from you, okay? Period. So I know some of you on the call are full-time working. Some of you stay at home. I've done both. I get the craziness of both, so that's why I'm talking and sharing both days. So Monday and Tuesday, I do not work. So those days would typically be like if I was a stay-at-home mom doing a push. When I created this schedule, I did it based on the fact that when I do my invites, so if you guys have been on any of my invite trainings, you know that we do the hot dog style it's not called the hot dog style invitation method, but that's what I'm calling it in this moment because I'm tired. So we're writing our names, we're sending our invites. We don't have the emotion about it. If you have not watched one of my calls or Sam's calls about inviting, let me know, I'll send you the training. But the long and the short of it, that's how we're creating our 300-person list so we can do this invitation method. I have timed myself and I can do anywhere from 50 to 60 invites in 30, it's sketchy, okay, cool. 50 to 60 invites in 30 minutes. I know that might seem a little crazy, okay? But again, when I talked to you guys a couple weeks ago on a Success Squad call about inviting, we're not getting invested in the reaction. We're not looking at what they say. We're truly sending the invite. That is it. And we are okay? So when you're thinking about that, if you're doing 300 invites, and if you haven't watched the Eric Ward training yet, you need to. But the long and the short of it is, your goal is to invite 300 people, send a follow-up message to 300 people or whoever's left, and to have conversations with 300 people in a week. That is what this push essentially is. It's giving you the numbers to have the success you're looking for. So I created a schedule assuming the fact that my first 2 days of invites is going to be the heaviest, because that means on Monday and Tuesday, technically I should have invited 300 people. So that means if I can invite 50 people in 30 minutes on the low end, then that means that I need to be able to invite for how many hours? That's all I did, okay? So 50 invites, 30 minutes, 100 invites in an hour. So I need to be sending, if I'm doing 150 in the day, then I need to be having roughly, 2 hours of just straight inviting time. So for me, work your business in the morning. That is what this is, okay? Keep in mind, you're gonna see some stuff on here that is like upper level coach trainings that I'm creating for our team. So that's also in here too. So in the morning, wake up, have my mom crack shooter. And again, guys, if you're building this business in the right way where you're doing stories, you're recording yourself, all of these actions, you're just recording yourself doing those. A lot of times I make my stories all day long and then take 5 minutes and upload them all at the same time, okay? You don't need to be uploading, editing, adding stuff to your stories all day long and using that as time frame. I want you to remove that from your thought process. And we're gonna talk about ways to make this push possible in preparation. But like when I'm sending invites, I'm gonna do a little boomerang of me sitting down with my notebook and saying like, morning work hustle, and that's the end of my story for that moment, okay? Take 2 seconds. I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna do my gratitude journal because that is getting into me in the morning. I sip on my coffee or have my mom crack shooter, whatever it is, depending on the day, and I'm gonna do my invites. I'm literally gonna sit down with my notebook, I'm gonna open it. I don't even need to look at my Instagram inbox. I don't need to look at my team page. I don't need to look at anything. I need to sit down for 120 minutes. I'm gonna set my timer in, typically I do it in like 30-minute blocks just to get myself kind of moving the way our brains work. If we have a timer, we do it better. And I am just gonna sit there and I am going to invite. The grind, that's why we call it the grind, okay? And I'm gonna spend 2 hours and I'm gonna invite. And I'm gonna get as many invites as I can. My goal is 150 minimum. My push goal is 200 on the first day. The reason for that, guys, because if you look at the rest of my schedule with working, it gets a little more difficult. Whether that be for you, you're somebody who like you work at the beginning of the week, but your weekend has more time. So you have to maneuver. You got to maneuver this the way that it works for you. Regardless, you have to get your mindset right and understand this is a push. It's going to be hard. There's going to be moments where you're like, I can't invite another person. You just do it. How many of you do things every single day that you don't want to do or that are hard or that are tiring? Please comment in the chat. I would like to hear it. Say me. I have 3 kids. I have 2 kids. Y'all do stuff you don't want to do every single day, okay? The difference is this is for you and this is for your business. So you do it, get it done. Then, so this coach email for Monday, this is a training that I'm creating. I'm taking 30 minutes out of that and I'll be doing that. But typically that would be inviting time. Then the green block is when my daughter wakes up. So for you stay-at-home moms, acknowledge that your kids will be awake and they will take time from you and things from you. So that's okay. That green block for me, this is when Peyton's awake, I'm getting her breakfast, we're playing, I'm picking up the house, I'm cleaning, like all of that stuff falls under this green time, okay? This means I'm not spending time doing other things. While I'm cleaning is when I'm listening to my personal development. I have Audible on my phone. I turn on my Audible while Pay is watching her shows because my kid won't eat. So yes, we watch shows when she's eating. Thank you, God, whoever created YouTube. And I'm listening to my personal development. I'm fueling my brain. I'm like refueling while I'm doing other little things, putzing around the house. Then during a push, so normally I like to work out during Pay's nap time, but during a push, that is my work time. That is my no children, free, I need to do business stuff. So instead, during a push, I'm going to work out when she's awake. Now I get her little weights, her little yoga mat, we work out together. It's 30 minutes. You can handle a 30-minute workout with your kid hanging on you if you need to. Also a fact. So for me, I move it because this is a day that I have a little more flexibility. Now for you, if this is your typical schedule and you're a mom, I obviously recommend working out before your kids wake up. Feel free to move this schedule around. Who knows, like, you know your schedule best, but you have to assume that you need time to invite. If you can only send 20 invites in an hour, do the math. That is how many hours do you need set up to do 300 invites? Make that time fit into your schedule. This is why we say have a conversation with your significant other before you start. Let them know, hey babe, this week, I need business time. I need set business hours where you take the kids and you let me work, whatever that is for you. And I'm going to challenge you to do more invites than you've ever done before. To not think about it, you have your little pre-set up little blurbs because you're not responding to anybody. In this time frame, you're just inviting. Then I have a 30-minute set aside where this is for me. So because for some of you who have already been inviting, you're going to have people in your inbox, okay? So I'm going to take 30 minutes, normally spend 15 minutes a day building relationships, engaging with others, Success Club Tracker, Vital Behavior, and I'm going to take 30 minutes. I'm going to set my alarm for 15 minutes. I'm going to engage on people's stories or on my tube feed. I obviously work in a hospital if anyone knows what tube feeds are, on my news feed. And I'm also going to clear out my inbox. That's the extent of it, 30 minutes on these days. Typically, you could spend more time doing this, but I don't recommend it. I mean, once a day, I spend 30 minutes a day engaging and cleaning out my inbox. Once a day. That's it. Like, we can obsess over people signing up and we can obsess over responding to people, but when I'm doing my normal schedule, I check my inbox twice a day. People are like, oh my God, you're always on social media. I'm like, no, twice a day. Unless I see it's one of my coaches who's asking me a question, I will pop in there occasionally to check our group feeds and stuff. Twice a day, I respond to people in my inbox. That is it. The reality is that can suck you in for so many hours. It is insane. Okay, so 30 minutes broken down. Then I'm going to take a break. I'm going to have lunch. I'm going to relax with my kid, and I'm going to get her ready for nap time. Then I'm getting ready for round 2. Because in the first 2 days that are literally going to be your grind days, okay? You do whatever you have to do in the first 2 days to get those invites out. Whatever you have to do. So from 1 to 2:30, that's when Pay's sleeping, 1 to 3. To our block, more inviting. When I did this first push, I did 500 people, guys. So this schedule is based on 500. I am probably going to try for 500 again, but we'll see. It just depends on how many new followers I have to be able to do that. So I'm writing out my list today. So for somebody like who it takes longer to send invites, then you're going to need 2 big blocks of time throughout the day. Okay? You're going to need to figure that out before you wake up, during nap time. For somebody, we'll talk about the work-life schedule in a second, how you work that in, whatever that is. Then I'm acknowledging that from 3 to 7:30, that is a hard time for me to work my business. And that truly is typically family time. That being said, on this time is a little flexible in the fact that, like, my daughter's awake. If I can work, I may, depending on her mood. If I can't, I'm going to be okay with the fact that I can't. I'm planning for her to need all of my attention. Okay? You have to plan for the worst. If you have more time, great. If you don't, plan for what time you have. If your husband's home at 5 o'clock and he knows he's taking over, then you plan that you are momming till 5 o'clock and then you're handing off and you're letting go. He has dinner, he's doing things, and you're going to say, hey, babe, for 2 days, you get to make dinner. Thanks, love you, bye. Whatever it is, you need to figure it out. Then this 8 to 9 o'clock span at the bottom. So for me, when I'm pushing, if I don't have enough time during the day, after the kids are asleep, that's my 3rd block of time. That's when I would work, okay? So the difference is when I'm not in a push, I typically don't, I do these 2 blocks of time, which why if you're in the Success Squad or Dream Team page, a lot of times I'll share like, I did 100 invites today. I did 60 invites today. Those are typically days when I'm at home and I get to manage my schedule a little bit more, okay? When I'm at work, it's a little harder. I'm working around my work schedule a little bit more. So, So on Monday and Tuesday, because I go back to work Wednesday through Saturday, that's my work schedule, I'm planning accordingly. So I'm going to recommend that you ladies do this, and I have started doing this last couple of days. How do you be successful in doing all the things on the Success Club Tracker and take care of yourself and work out and do a push? You plan in advance. So in case you're wondering, every single one of my posts for Wednesday through Saturday will be scheduled in advance. Every single post Wednesday through Saturday will be scheduled in advance. I've started taking pictures during the weekend while I'm here of the posts that I will be doing during that time frame. And then on Monday night or Tuesday night, I will be going in and I will be typing those posts out using the Planali app, scheduling them out in advance, and checking that off my list. Okay, I already have engaging on my schedule. I already have my invites. We're acknowledging that follow-ups are going to happen later and combos are going to happen later because this is a push. On a typical day, I would do my inviting in this block of time, and I would do my follow-ups in this block of time. Okay, so every day I'm doing those things because I have so many people that I'm going through. Once you've done this push, guys, you're going to have a lot of people to follow up with. You're going to have a lot of people to invite over the next couple months. So just get comfortable with that. So does that schedule make sense? This is more of like the stay-at-home mom schedule. Let me see here. My kids don't sleep. Mine don't either. So this is what I'm going to say. So Sam is the expert at this. And I get kids not sleeping. So this is going to become for you. Work before your kids wake up. If there's a time frame when one of your kids naps. Yes, no, maybe. I'm looking to see if anyone's nodding their heads. No? Yes. Okay. So there's typically a time frame if you have like kids at different ages, there's typically a time frame like where the small baby naps for 30 minutes or an hour, or the middle kid naps, or, depending how many kids you have. You're going to find activities where the other children are doing something for an hour and you're going to work, or 30 minutes. What you have to be is you have to be the schedule keeper. They don't want to let you have a schedule. I know this feeling, okay? And I understand that I don't have numerous small kids, but when I first started this, I was taking Jace to school, getting him ready in the morning, picking him up from school, had my daughter throughout the day. Like, exactly. Sam will put a movie on, she will work. She doesn't sit with them. When your kids nap, whatever that is, when you can take one kid off your plate, if you have multiples, that's your time. When you have older kids, you sit them down and you say, Mommy needs to work for an hour, you're gonna watch this movie, or you're gonna color, or you're gonna read. You give them an activity, you spend the time. Or even if it's 30 minutes, guys, if you have to break up this inviting time to 30 minutes throughout the day, hey, they're eating right now, 30 minutes to work. Hey, one's napping right now, 30 minutes to work, 15 minutes. Whatever that is for you, you commit to it, you do it, you make it happen, okay? 5 on a normal day, I start to tell them it's mommy time. Exactly, Susie. So you figure out how that's gonna work into your schedule. It's not easy. No one said making a schedule is easy. That's why I'm doing this call before the push, because it is easy to let the time and the children take over, okay? And I probably should have let Sam spiel her little piece on, and maybe we can at the end, because I don't have multiple kids. If my kid goes, I'm also very intense about nap time. Perfect. Everyone figure out your schedule. That's why I told you to bring a pen and paper, kind of write down in your mind what little pieces you're working with, okay? Because the reality is, it's not easy to make this fit your schedule. But also, I knew for me that my kid, I had to get up at 4:30 if I wanted the amount of time I needed to work it. Period. Every day. 4:30 to 5 o'clock every single day, okay? And being okay with that, getting excited about that. That means that maybe your kids and you need to go to bed at 8:30. I know, I said it, old lady status. Okay, so it's fine. So please put more questions in the chat and we can definitely talk about maybe brainstorming ideas. I wanna go over the schedule for if you're working full-time, because on a typical day I work about 10 hours. 10 and a half hours, and then I have a 30-minute commute both ways. So I'm technically 30 minutes in the car. It's about 11 and a half hours a day at my job. And that's currently in the schedule that I am now. So like you've seen, I do a lot on the days I'm off, and I do a lot of preparing. So I'm scheduling all my posts in advance. I'm getting up early, working my business. I'm taking care of myself and doing my Success Club tracker. So during this push, I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like when I'm working. So same thing in the morning, I do my gratitude journal and I do my mom crack shooter. But the difference is I work out first thing in the morning. It's a 30-minute workout. I get up, I work out by 5 a.m., 5 to 5:30. The reason for this, I have no other time to work out during the day. Then I make sure that I have 30 minutes of inviting. So I get done with my workout, I stretch, I come sit down, bop, 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 bop. I spent 30 minutes of invites. This is 50 invites right there, okay? But, so I gave myself this little, as you can see, I'm doing 2 days of invites. I should be able to get all 300 invites done in these 2 days. But for those of you that are starting on Tuesday, I wanted to kind of show you how you can move it around. I gave myself 30 minutes of inviting time right here if I don't get it done. If not, I'll move over to follow-up starting on Wednesday. Whatever that is. This is my 30 minutes. The stuff in the pink, although it says PD, that's my commute to work time. I break out my Audible, I listen to my PD on the way to work. That is when I get it in and I feel really good about it. National Wake Up Calls when I listen to it, team calls. Right now I'm listening to Be Obsessed or Be Average by Grant Cardone, whatever it is. This yellow is when I'm at work. Typically when I'm at work, when I go pee, I'll check my inbox. I will engage with people. That is truly not a joke, guys. This time right here is on my pee breaks. Okay? Make it work. That is literally going to be my phrase for all of this. Just figure it out. Engaging, inboxing during my pee breaks, period, end of story. Sometimes I'll go for a walk during the day. I get two technical 15-minute breaks throughout the day. Most days I don't get those. Working in a hospital, it's either life's on fire, everything is happening, or it's really boring. So it's like depending on the day. Then this blue, this is a non-negotiable. I get a 30-minute lunch break. I can choose to spend that lunch break sitting downstairs with my coworkers, bitching about our job and how tired we are and these crazy patients we have and blah, 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 blah. Or I could spend 30 minutes building my business and going all in. So I sit down at my desk. I bring my notebook to work every single day. I bring my Success Club tracker with me every single day. And I sit down and I just hit my, okay, clock out. And I just go through and I get 50 invites done. So between those two blocks of time, I'm able to get in 100 invites in 2 30-minute windows. Okay, then I have to go back to work, all the yellow. So in this pink right here, this is when I do my drive home. I do personal development or I do one-on-one coach mentor calls. So for a lot of you girls who have been on the Success Club board, who are working towards growing a big business, if you get on the Success Club board, I offer one-on-one mentor calls, going through your business, stuff like that. So that's when I do this. While I'm driving, I put my phone in my lap and we chat. That is it, okay? On days that I go to work, my husband and I have agreed that when I first get home, I'm not going to work my business. I'm going to spend time with the fam, and that is what I do. So that is a green time. That is a free zone time. It also gives me a break. Then this is my third round, okay? So if I had to, here's another 30-minute block. That's 150 invites in one day. What was our goal, guys? 302 days, right? I have worked in an hour and a half of working the business on a 11.5-hour work day, including spending time with my family, including getting my personal development and my workout done. It's not that I'm creating something out of thin air. This is truly my schedule. It is deciding what you will spend your time doing, okay? So now, this is a typical stay-at-home mom for me life. This is my work full-time life. And then on Sunday, this is my event life. So I say, oh, well, family's in town. Oh, I have this thing to go to. Oh, because that's the reality. We have a life outside of this business, outside of work. We have things we go to. So on Sunday, I have a baby shower for my niece. That is a 3-hour event, and it's 30 minutes from my house. So again, I also have created 2 call trainings on that same day for my coaching business. Now, these things, guys, will not apply to you, okay? But these apply to me in my current schedule. So we've done our days of inviting. We've done our days of follow-up messages. So we've given it the 2 days. All of these people we invite on Monday, then come Wednesday or Thursday, we're going to start following up with them if they didn't respond. Hey, didn't hear from you. Hey, not sure if you got my message. Wanted to check back with you. Again, those same 300 people, we're following up with them. Then, and only then, do we go to combos is what I call it. But this is, you're going back into your inbox and you're chatting it up. You're going through when people are like, how much? What program? How does that work? Blah, blah. That is, you have 2 to 3 days spent of having conversations, of breaking down programs, of getting share cards out, of having people tell you no, finding out a follow-up date. You have your calendar out. You're like, I'm following up with them on the 29th of next month. You have that power in those 3 days. So that is what this day is spent doing. In the morning, I'm going to wake up. I'm going to spend an hour breaking down those conversations, replying to people, getting share cards out, marking when I'm following up with people, guys. The biggest thing you can do is be diligent. Now, again, when I'm inviting, I'm inviting. When I'm following up, I'm following up. I'm not looking at the messages, any of that stuff. When you're spending your combo time, I'm going to challenge you to also have like your planner open. And if people say, no, not right now, and they're saying, it's not a good time, okay, no problem. Can I follow up with you next month? Can I follow up with you in a couple months from now? Get them to give you a yes. If not, you already know you're going to follow up with them in a couple months. But if they say, well, next month I can, say, great. Is this a good day next month? And write them down on your calendar. If they say, oh, I don't get paid till this day, follow up with them on their day they get paid. Write it down. Follow up with them. That is key. That is key. And just because they say that doesn't mean they're in, okay? Like, also be okay with that. So have those combos. Then for me, we have our second round of Morning Meltdown started. So on Sunday, I'm going live talking about prizes in our prep group. And then we also have a sneak peek. I'm doing a training for our girls on how to run. That's not supposed to say sneak peeks. That's supposed to say boot camp, whatever. A training. God, stressing myself out because I can't remember what training I'm doing. There's so many. So that's going to take 30 minutes. So I've already broken out saying that's something I have to do. So that, of course, goes on the schedule. If you have to do it, put it on the schedule. I don't care what it is. If it's brush your teeth, brush your hair, like you need to take a shower and style your hair, that's going to take 30 minutes. Put it on the schedule. Then Pay wakes up. So during this time, this is my freebie time. According to me, guys, this is when I'm cleaning, I'm washing my hair, I'm doing those things. So I can put here at 8 o'clock, I'm going to, jump in the shower, whatever that is. But if it's easier for you to have that where you just know that this is your unplugged time and you get your stuff done, your other stuff done, great. If not, break it down by 30-minute blocks. What are you doing each 30 minutes? Personal development, same thing while I'm cleaning. Then I'm going to work out in the morning, do my engagements, and I have lunch before I get ready and go to this baby shower. I gave myself 30 minutes to get ready, 30 minutes of commute time, and then I gave myself the baby shower time. Even though it's technically till 5, guys, I'm not staying till 5. So I will be home by 5. That is my goal. I'll come home, spend time with my hubby if he's up for it. If he's not, this is more work time for me because he'll hang out with Pay and we'll be good to go. If not, when she goes to bed, I work again. So this is a push schedule. I want you to wrap your head around the fact that this is a push. This is not going to be easy. So where do you find your 30-minute blocks? Where do you find your 15-minute blocks? Where do you find your hour blocks? Where can you take that time? And maybe you take it away from doing laundry. Maybe you take that time away from deep cleaning the bathrooms for 1 week. Maybe you do curbside pickup for your groceries versus going through the grocery store and picking out every single thing that you're going to get that week. This sounds really ridiculous, guys, but I'm telling you, we spend a lot of time doing a lot of things that for 1 week you can set aside. Now, what are some things that like that for you? I would love to hear for you guys what those are. Because your kids, that's not going to get sacrificed. Your husband, that's not going to get sacrificed. What can you sacrifice for 1 week that you could change in your schedule to make this push happen? Could it be that your kids watch a little more screen time? Could it be that you set up a play date where they go hang out with one of your friends for one of the days? Could it be, curbside pickup, that for me is on a normal week because I refuse to spend the time doing that. The bathrooms, that's an easy take off my to-do list. Absolutely. The extra cleaning. Those are things for 1 week. I'm going to challenge you to figure out what those things are because we all have those. And for those of you who cleaning is like an anxious thing where it helps with anxiety, it helps with stress, your tendency is going to be to avoid inviting and to do more cleaning, to do extra cleaning, okay? That's why, Sam's house looks beautiful when we're doing a push. All of it, no, just kidding. At least our first push, she was like, so my house is really clean, but I haven't done my invites yet. And, I'm going to challenge you. This is why you're going to make a schedule. This is why in advance you're going to commit to the things you will not be doing this week that take up your time. You play with your kids. You hang out with your husband, but you send your invites, you work your business, you do your job, whether that's a stay-at-home mom or you work a full-time job or both, those are jobs, okay? Those are things that you get paid for, even if there's not a dollar amount associated to it. So those jobs are not allowed to be sacrificed. But there are certain jobs that we do that could be sacrificed. Having a home cook from scratch meal made every single night, could we pop in a lasagna one night for the kids? Yes. Okay, so those are the things I'm going to challenge you to think about for the week of this push. What do you do as a typical thing that maybe takes up a lot of your time that you could remove off the table without sacrificing your workout, without sacrificing your family time, your me time? At the same time, something has to get sacrificed. And I'm going to challenge you to sacrifice the things that are not making you money and are not making your family happiness. Other than that, everything else is expendable in my book. Now, keep in mind, cleaning for me doesn't necessarily give me happiness in any way, shape, or form. I do it because I don't want to live in filth, but other than that, not really. So I don't understand that, but I know a lot of people who are like this. So I understand. And as a stay-at-home mom, all you do is clean all day. You clean all day. And I have a lot of stay-at-home moms who are on my team. And I can understand how you clean all day. You clean in the morning, then your kids mess up, then you clean again, then you clean. Okay, so clean once a day. Clean once a day. Move past. Embrace the fact that for a week, it's going to be a little shit showy. But you will feel so much success in this business. You will feel so hyped, I promise you, in ways that you've never felt hyped. There's a reason you're on this call, okay? Because you're ready for that. So take the time, make the time, make a schedule. I will make this unlocked and I can share it with anybody who wants it.
I was going to ask if you could do that.
Absolutely.
What
I'll
I was
send
going
it
to say about the mom thing,
Go ahead.
fast, before we segue away,
No.
is that, and I think that this is for everything, but it's really easy for us to be like, well, I have a lot of kids and like they need my attention. But I think whether you have a million kids, one kid, no kid, anything, we want more intention in our life, as opposed to this just one day of blur where you're like half cleaning, you're walking around, you're scrolling social media, you're kind of answering messages, you're kind of posting, you're kind of playing. A push actually just forces you to figure out what the priorities are in your life and then give that intentional time. So like Brenda said, you can't not play with your kids, but I'm going to play with my kids. Like I'm going to like be on the ground playing Paw Patrol, even though I effing hate it, but they love it. And I'm going to do Paw Patrol. And then when they watch a movie, then I'm working. Also, when I'm in a good groove, Sundays or whatever the one day is, because my husband has random days off, just kind of like how Brenda, like Saturday, Sunday isn't always the weekend. It could be like Monday, Tuesday. Whatever the day is, usually before he is off for 2 days, I then clean kind of all day, but it really doesn't need to take all day. I could put on music like on Alexa, and the kids think it's so fun to be like, Alexa, play whatever song. And we do that, and you can get your house cleaned so effing fast if you try. So this is good advice for everything, but as you're going into this push, if you know you're starting a push right now, then Sunday you need to take 2 hours and you need to put the jams on, and you can clean your whole house in 2 hours, and then you can that night fold the laundry for the week. Like it's absolutely possible. But we dilly daddle and like sit down, drink some coffee, then mop like just get it done and move on. Prep yourself for a week that you're starting the house as clean, and then yes, as the week is going on, you're just going to push that laundry with your foot as you're answer, sending invites. But as a mom, and every child is different, and so I'm not going to pretend to be like the mom expert, but I do understand behavior, and that's like what I did before. And whether you have a child with a disability, who is the kids I worked with, or typical children, behavior is behavior. And the habits that your kids have is probably the result of the habits we let them have. And it's easier said than done. I totally get that. But if their habit is to get up in the night, it's because we reinforce that habit. And so maybe not in this push week, I'm saying sleep train your kid, but in general, you're going to want to shape a schedule that you are in charge, that you want. and then shape their habits how you want, because you're in charge. And I'm sorry, but I was not put on this earth just to be your snack bitch. I was put on this earth to love you and to nurture you and to be there for you and to play with you, but also to fill my biggest potential so I can show you that that's how it's done. So this push is just up a week, or well, it's longer than a week, but the hardest part is this first week of just getting it done. And so don't be me, don't deep clean your house when you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this, because what is on the other end? Yes, it's hard, but nobody has anything that's worth having, anything that didn't take work. So this push is you showing yourself that you can have more, whether that's to come home to your babies or to pay off debt or to buy the furniture you've always wanted. Is that we weren't put on this earth to struggle, and this push represents you deciding that you get to have that. So be the mom, be the thing. And then what else did I, my favorite quote so far is "shit will always come up" from Brenna.
You know, feel free to like put that on a shirt or something and send it to me. And the other part is, guys, once you've done this push, then working this business into your regular schedule. Okay, because in a push, obviously we're spending hours and hours on our business. Like I said, on a typical day, I spend about an hour. To now, since, you know, Sam and I have bigger teams, we spend more time keeping it all the way real. But when we were pushing for Diamond, I was spending 30 minutes to an hour a day, you know, before all of this. So if you can do an hour or two in this push and you can invite 300 people, then on a normal day, inviting 20 people is going to seem like easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. Okay. So I need you to do this now, because then when this comes full circle and in a week or 2 or 3, when you're still wanting to hit Diamond and you still need more people and you need to send invites, you're going to send 25 to 30 invites in a day in 30 minutes. You're going to be getting up at 4:30 anyways, because you're going to be excited to build your business because you're already building that momentum. So this push is to jumpstart that momentum, is to get you on the path to where you want to be. You have to do the work now. You have to let some stuff go, and you have to own your time. If your kids, like Tawny on our team, she works full-time job and her kids get up super early. She gets up at 3:45 in the morning, okay? I know it sounds outrageous. I get it. Kate Morgan talks about how every single day she got up at 3:45 every single day because she used to have to drive as a teacher through LA, blah, 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 blah. You figure out what you need to do for you to make this business happen. The time is there. It's just how you choose to spend it. Let the Netflix go. Let the lollygagging go. Be effective with your time. Be intentional. That is the key for this whole week, is about intention. Set your schedule, set your intention, hyper-focused about it, and be excited about this. Don't let it be like, oh my God, I have to go send invites. No, you have to go send invites. You get to go send invites to grow your business. So get excited about it, because this is the first step and the first push you're gonna do. And you're gonna do another push and another push and another push. But the reality is, this is your first push. It's like the coolest ripping off the Band-Aid ever, like the crazy type A, whatever. This is the stuff that gets me hyped in the business. So like the fact that I get to like help you guys do your first push is like really exciting to me. I know it probably doesn't seem that exciting to you guys, but so get your schedules. I'm going to share the link and you guys can copy my little schedule and make your own versions to fit your day. But decide what it is. Look at your calendar. Everything you have going on, put it on the schedule, and then figure out where those little blue boxes should be, okay? You need to do this before Monday or before Tuesday. Have your schedule of 300. My girls, I've required them to submit their Diamond roadmap picture. I don't know if the Success Squad girls have had to do that, but if you have not done that in my group, you need to do that today. I need to see where everybody is at. One, I want you to know where you're at and know that you know where to look to find where you are to Diamond, because in theory, Diamond, I want to go. No, where are you at? How many people do you have? How much work do you have to do? Like, where do you have to go? So, Susie, you're so good. I don't do laundry except for once a week for one day. And then typically it sits in baskets until I've decided that one night I will fold it all and put it away. My husband loves it, in case you're wondering. Yeah, exactly. It's not about how many people you actually have on your diamond breakdown, guys. And I submitted it in both pages, I think. I have it around here somewhere. It's not about how many people you have. It's just about, do you know where to look? Do you know where you're at? Do you know if you have any coaches or inactive coaches or people? Like, that's all I'm challenging you guys to do, not because I actually care how many people you have. That's how I was. Unified. Yeah, I get that. So figure out a system for this week before you start the week. What are you going to do to be successful, and do it? Shit will come up. Move past it. For 1 week, your family can follow a schedule. Whatever schedule you set for them, you have a talk with your husband. You look them dead in the eye if you have one. If not, even better. You don't have to talk to anybody about a schedule. But, look them dead in the eye and say, okay, homie, this is what I need from you. We're doing this, so let's go and do it, okay? If you guys have questions, of course, let us know. We're always here for you. We'll be doing this with you. This is not like, oh, we're telling you to go do something. We have our list. We have our shit. Like, you see my schedule. I am like, Sam and I literally text each other at 4:30 in the morning saying, I'm up. Would that be helpful to go in the diamond in the different pages and say, I'm awake early in the morning? We can do that. Whatever accountability you guys need to feel like we can do this together, we can do that. Tyra, okay.
And I always hear people say that they can't get up early, and I totally get it, but you're done with the day by 9 o'clock, whether you got up at 6, 7, or 4. And so when you get up early in the morning, the only thing that the thing it does for you is it allows you, one, you're going to sleep like a freaking rock. Trust me. When I hit the pillow, I am down.
I agree.
You kind of force yourself up in the morning, and then you crash hard. But the difference is when your brain starts, like, I'm done by bath time. Like, the nights I have a team call, like, and I'm like doing something at 6 o'clock is impressive, because the other nights I'm like, oh my gosh, the kids, they just are driving me nuts. The difference is that I go to bed knowing I did what I needed to do today, and I don't feel guilty, as opposed to then you're laying down at 8 o'clock, like literally I put my kids, I shut the door, and I like fall on my bed at 8. And if I haven't worked that day, I'll be like, oh, I should send my invites. Shit, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this. But if I've gotten up at 4:30 and I did my stuff, then I handle me. I mean, in a push week, I'll do more, but like on a normal week, I'm just like, okay, then I kind of prep for the next day. I lay down, put a show on, or I read a book, or I do something, and then I fall the F asleep because I'm tired because I got up at 4:30 in the morning. So yes, it is difficult, but like Brenna said, the most successful people in this world, outside of Beachbody, I don't even give a crap about coaches. The most successful people in this world are up before the sun, and studies have shown you are the most productive the first 3 hours of your day. So if you are waking up when friend right here, and I get it, my kids are up at now like between 5:30 and 6:30, it's driving me nuts. If you're waking up to like, hey, get me some Cheerios, it's like you're gonna feel all the feelings of ugh. So just get up, just do it.
Move your phone away from your bed for your alarm. If I could give you one tip, that is literally the only reason I get up in the morning, because I'm gonna wake my husband up if I don't get up to turn the alarm off. That's it. I used to snooze it like 7 times. 3 a.m. works till 6. Yep, let's go, Susie. Boom. Hey, why don't you just get up with him at 3 a.m.? Problem solved. I'm such a bad influence on that. Okay, I'm gonna stop